Welcome here to TalkFCB. Another day and another signing. Eric Garcia has arrived from Man City, and he follows on, of course, from Sergio Agüero as a new Barcelona player. Our summer is well and truly underway, and in today's video, we are going to be discussing Eric Garcia's first words as a Barca player, and most importantly, what he's going to bring to this team. Is there potential there? Has he shown his quality? And do we believe that he will strengthen our defence, something that of course needs to be done? It is all coming up today. Another signing in the bag. So let's get to it. Because Eric Garcia does indeed sign on a 5-year deal at Barcelona until 2026. So right there, quite a long-term deal for, of course, a promising young centre-back. And he'll officially become a new Barcelona player on July the 1st after his contract at Man City expires. So he'll be joining there for absolutely nothing. It will be a free transfer. And also importantly as well, not only the fact here that we're not paying a fee for Garcia, but in terms of those wages, that was something of course that we're trying to get back under control this season, in particular that wage bill. Now Garcia will be earning less than what was originally agreed there under Bartomeu. Now that is important. I feel that Garcia personally has said, you know what, I'm happy to accept less salary than we previously agreed. It's going to be there a lower base salary, and his new contract there, as agreed with Laporta, is going to contain more performance related bonuses there based on his success individually and of course with the team, which is the way that it should be. If Garcia does well, if the team does well, everybody will be happy. And of course, much like we saw with Sergio Agüero on Monday, Eric Garcia also went through exactly the same process on Tuesday there, undergoing his medical, which he passed without any problems whatsoever. He was then stepping out onto the Camp Nou field, which will have been a special moment for him, of course, returning home here to what is his home in Barcelona. And then, of course, he did sit down alongside President Laporta and indeed the board members, who were very, very happy to have secured Garcia's signature here at the club. Garcia said, for me, Barca's the best club in the world, very similar to what Agüero said yesterday, of course. He said it's a dream come true to be back here. He said, every day since I was a boy, I dreamed of playing for the first team at Barca. He said, I will give everything for this shirt. But of course, despite coming through La Masia, Garcia did leave the club in 2017, but when he was talking there about his exit, he explained himself. He said back then, La Masia wasn't being trusted as much as it is again today. I think that's a very, very important point and a very valid point. Back then, I don't think we were looking to La Masia. Now we want to put more emphasis once again on the youth academy. And he said the project they offered me in Manchester was very attractive. He said I'm happy with the experience I've gained there, because he said, that's helped me now to come back here. And he said, Pep has had a brilliant influence on me. Because of course, just to explain that in some detail, Eric Garcia here will return for the club that he played for as a boy. Garcia joined La Masia at the age of 7, and he stayed there for almost 10 years, playing at a number of different youth team levels. And I also want to point out there, every single youth rank that he played at Barcelona, he captained them. He was made the captain, he was elected the captain there by his fellow teammates, even though in many of those teams, he was younger than the rest of the players that he was with. But he is certainly somebody who, coming through the youth system, was so highly rated. And he's often said over the years that leaving for Man City, it's one of the most difficult decisions that he's ever had to make, to leave the club of his life, and of course, to leave his family behind, given that he was born here. And given the fact that Garcia did indeed leave La Masia as a teenager, he travelled to Manchester, went to the Premier League, and now he's coming back again, you could already see the headlines being written. You could already understand some of those comparisons with Gerard Pique. Because of course Pique followed a very, very similar path. He also left La Masia there when he was just a teenager. He headed to Manchester. Of course it was the red side of Manchester. And you could also say there that it didn't really work out for Pique in the Premier League. He didn't really play an awful lot. He wasn't really trusted by Sir Alex Ferguson, but he still says that that period of his career was really, really important to make him the centre-back that we've seen over all of these years since Pique came back in 2008, signed by Pep, and now Garcia follows in those footsteps. And speaking of Pep Guardiola, I also think it's very, very important to listen to what he has to say about the qualities here of the man coming in at centre-back. And this is a guy that Pep, who is a master at really finding talent there, nurturing it, and making sure that these players fulfill their potential. And he believes Garcia has got everything you would want in a young centre-back. He's spoken on many, many occasions there about his composure on the ball, about the fact that he can step out of defence, that he can lead a team, his willingness to learn, the lack of mistakes that he has for a young player. And these just aren't empty words. Don't just think here that Pep is just rattling off praise just because he feels like it for Eric Garcia, because Pep wanted to keep him at Man City. That's something I really got to hammer home here. We are not signing, despite what you may read, a Man City reject. If anything, it's the other way round. Eric Garcia was the one who rejected Man City. They and Pep wanted him to stay. They had a contract on the table, believed to be a much bigger one than the one he signed today. But Garcia always had it in his mind, especially over the past year or so, that he wanted to come back. And I think when you're looking at his time in Manchester, his 4 years now that he has spent at Manchester City, you would look here at the appearance numbers and you would say that it hasn't exactly resulted in a wealth of experience in terms of the games that he's played. He's played 5 matches in the Champions League, 19 in the Premier League, which is a decent number there, 4 in the FA Cup, 7 in the League Cup, 50 over the course there of youth competitions. But he has also made there, that's a very important point that we've got to make, 7 appearances for the Spanish national team, which is no mean feat. And of course he will be going to the Euros this summer under Luis Enrique. But I think when you're looking again at that time at Man City for Eric Garcia, what is important to say here is, much like with Pique, could he use that experience, that time there that he spent under Pep Guardiola? Doesn't matter if it's not necessarily in matches, but in training sessions, playing under a fantastic coach, surrounded by fantastic players. I think there he will have learned a lot. He will have developed his game. It's a very different culture there in England to what he would have experienced in Spain, and I think he can come back now a more rounded player and hopefully ready to kick on in this next stage. But what I do have to say is, I think we do have to keep expectations at a manageable level for Eric Garcia right now, and I think that's something that is actually happening. I don't think that Eric Garcia is coming in here to massive expectations. I don't think we think that he's going to absolutely set the world alight the minute that he walks through the door, and that might be a good thing because he can come in here, settle, and try to acclimatise here at his own pace and hopefully then go on to surprise us all. Because if you look at his stats here, I'm looking at Garcia's stats from the 1920 season, which is when he played the most matches really to get the biggest pool of data. And as you can see here, comparing him to Gerard Pique, to Clement Lenglet, there's not too much difference. I don't just think here that Garcia is going to come in and he's already going to be head and shoulders above Pique, above Lenglet. It may not be that way straight away, but let's not also forget here, this is a 20-year-old player. He does have much to learn. I will particularly focus there on the individual duels out on the field, in particular there, the aerial duels. He's not somebody who's massively tall. He's not somebody there who may be that strong in the air. He does need to have a bit more of a physical presence about him, I feel. But certainly on the ball, he's got the Barça DNA. We know that he can play at the back. We know that he's very composed. He can step out there, which will really help in our build-up. But of course, defensively, that is what we want from him. We need to have less mistakes in our defence. Garcia, according to Pep, doesn't make many. That's what we need to see. And I think really, guys, when you are looking here for the conclusion on the signing of Eric Garcia, what I would like to see from him is basically kick on and follow on from what we saw from him at the very end there of that 1920 season, because I feel like that was when he played his best football there in a Man City shirt. I think he was in the team much more regularly. He felt trusted there by Pep Guardiola. He felt like a real valued member of the team, and he was growing. And you can look back there and you can see many, many Man City fans at that period of time, he was playing so well and he was really highly rated by then. Now since then, yes, this season he's hardly played. When he has played, it's often been in heavily rotated Man City teams, and I've said before that Garcia, he's been made a scapegoat. Man City fans here don't like the fact that he's wanted to return to Barcelona, that he rejected the contract that was on the table from their club, and I think any time anything went wrong, it was always Garcia's fault. It was never Benjamin Mendy, it was never Nathan Ake, it was always down to Eric Garcia. At Barca, he comes away from all of that. He starts here a new chapter in a surrounding where he's already familiar. And look, guys, at the end of the day, it's a free transfer. He's coming in here for absolutely no transfer fee. He's on moderate wages. He's only 20 years old. This is a low-risk signing with the potential of very high reward. And I think what we as fans have to do now is get behind him, show him that support, And let's just hope that he can come in, play the best football of his career at this club, and grow into the defender that in the youth ranks we knew that he could become. Please let me know your thoughts in the comments down below, guys. What are your expectations ahead of the signing here of Eric Garcia? What do you think that he will bring in terms of that first season? How many games do you see him playing in our defence? And what kind of defender do you see him as? Let me know all of those thoughts down below. I'm really looking forward to seeing the likes of Agüero, the likes of Garcia in that Barça shirt. Already looking forward to the new season. But of course, between now and then, there's still plenty more transfer activity to be had, not only incomings, but outgoings too. I will keep you updated on it all. Thank you indeed for watching, guys. And as always, Visca El Barça!